Hey, what is going on, MBL? It is Project Fat here, and I am coming back to you with another team report. The season 17 of MBL is over. The Giants have won the MBL Super Bowl over the San Diego Chargers, so great season by those guys. And we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the offseason. We're headed into week one. Week one is already underway. Some games have already been played, but I want to talk about some of the biggest offseason acquisitions here. A lot of big signings, but there's a few specifically that I want to touch on. First one is about Aaron Rodgers, 37 years of age. He signed a 1-year, $26.5 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. Now, the thing that's interesting to me about this is, number one, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback still. He is getting up there in age, but he still has all the great tools that you would love to have in a quarterback. But the thing that is interesting to me is that the Miami Dolphins is the team that signed him. Last year they tried the same thing with Big Ben Roethlisberger. Did not pan out as he did not play up to par. He only had 61% completion, 3,100 yards, 18 touchdowns to 26 interceptions, and barely eclipsed the QBR of 76. So very, very interesting. Last year Aaron Rodgers was in Chicago. Kind of similar numbers, 61%, 3,300 yards, passing, 21 touchdowns, 26 interceptions, 81.6 QBR. But I feel like the Chicago Bears had better receivers, Alshon Jeffrey, Kevin White, and so that's the thing that's going to be interesting for me for the Miami Dolphins. And like I said, they did this last year, did not pan out for them, so it was very, very interesting to see them go after Aaron Rodgers this year. But I think it's a good signing, but I don't think it's going to work out for him once again. So, good luck to the Miami Dolphins this season, but I think they're in for another disappointing season as they hope that Aaron Rodgers will get him further than he's going to. Next guy I'm going to touch on, Vontae Davis, another interesting signing. I mean, the guy's good. He is up there in age, but he's definitely slowed down considerably. But the main reason why this is interesting to me is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last offseason once again went out, signed a bunch of cornerbacks, and I mean, to be quite frank with you, it didn't work out for them either. So I just don't understand. They spent a ton of money in free agency last year on cornerbacks, and it did not work out for them. Vontae Davis is 33 years old. He signed a 1-year, $20.3 million contract. He only had 3 interceptions last year. He was making $7 million per interception. And I know that's not all that the cornerbacks are known for, but I feel like if you're going to pay a guy that kind of money, he has to give you some more production, turn the ball over a little bit more for you. So once again, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be unpleasantly surprised and very, very upset with once again falling for this big money for a big name cornerback that's not going to do for them what they need. But I think the biggest go after free agent this offseason was Harrison Smith, 32 years old, probably at the top of his prime right now. He was signed by the New England Patriots to a 3-year, $72 million deal, and he came off probably arguably his best season here in Madden 16 with 8 interceptions. He forced 2 fumbles to go along with those 8 interceptions, and he had 44 tackles on the year. So, Harrison Smith was definitely the most sought after free agent. I think there was about 6 or 7 teams that were trying to go after him. The New England Patriots kind of swooped in there at the last second on the last day of free agency and were able to pick him up. They took him away from the San Diego Chargers, who was the top bidder. The Tennessee Titans were really going after him. But I think this signing right here was probably one of the best signings I saw this offseason. New England Patriots are going to be very, very happy with the production value that they get out of Harrison Smith. Like I said, they did pay a pretty decent amount of money for him, but I think he's completely worth it, and he's going to change that secondary in New England. Going on to the Indianapolis Colts. Hands down, the winners of free agency of the offseason, had a great draft as well. But the first guy I'm going to talk about, they went the cornerback route as well. Went after an older guy, Josh Norman, who is no longer with the Carolina Panthers. But they got him for a little bit less than Vontae Davis was signed for, and he had a little bit better production, in my opinion. Now, the thing that I think is going to be different is I feel like Josh Norman, both these guys have slowed quite considerably, but I think Josh Norman is still has better awareness of the football, of the field, where he's at on the field at all times, and I think that he's going to make a much bigger impact on this Colts defense than Vontae Davis will in Tampa Bay. So, but the biggest signing I think that was very, very surprising is myself. I released Aldon Smith, and then the Indianapolis Colts went out and got him as well. Signed him to a 4-year, $74 million contract. But once again, his production value has gone down a ton. He only had 2 sacks last season. Now that very well could be just what we were running in Oakland. But, who knows? It's going to be something very interesting to see. I just feel like that's a lot of money for a guy that hasn't really put up any type of numbers. Your defensive ends, they're there to get sacks, stop the run as well, but primarily you want them to get to the quarterback, and he has not really done so. I think, but overall, just with these guys and the talent that they have and what they can bring to a team, I think that the Indianapolis Colts by far won free agency, and they went out and got 2 of the best players available, and they really turned around this team. They're trying to go for their first division title, and I think that they can do that this year if they play smart, cause a lot of turnovers, which I'm assuming they were trying to do by going and getting these 2 guys, and just take care of the football on the offensive side. I think these guys are going to be okay, and I think you will see them be a first-time division champ. So I want to say thank you, everybody, once again. That's it for today. We are, like I said, good luck to everybody this season. Season 18, last season here in Madden 16. The team selection, all that good stuff will be coming up here soon, so please keep tuned in for that whenever we do get that going. But I would also like to give a quick shout out to Web3KS. He has all of your affordable graphics needs, so please make sure you check him out. He's a big part of the NBL, big believer in what we do, and we truly appreciate everything he's done for us. But like I said, if you need some affordable graphics, that is your guy. That is web3ks.com. Please make sure you check him out. Also, if you like the video, please leave comments in the comment section. Also, hit the subscribe button here to the NBL Network. I will continue to put these out as much as I possibly can. And thank you guys once again for tuning in. And it's Project Fat tuning out.